Hey guys, Lou here. Thank you so much for joining me to learn the 3 steps that I personally used and coached my clients in how to gain 24 leads in 24 hours without spending a single cent. As I mentioned to you earlier, when I first took the big jump to break free from my corporate career, I was sitting in over $150,000 worth of debt. I didn't have a savings plan, and all I was using was a few $1,000s left on a credit card to fund my dream business. So how did I go about doing this? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 steps that I use to be able to build my business simply through online networking. So tool number 1, you must have a Facebook business page. I talk to so many women about how they dream of starting their own business, only they don't have the money to invest in building a website for themselves. They don't have the time to sit down and build their own, and they only feel like they can invest hundreds of dollars into someone else doing that for them. So I'm here to tell you today, if you think exactly the same thing, do not worry, do not fret. All you need is a Facebook business page in order to get started. So what does a Facebook business page do for you? So all you need to do is jump on, if you don't already have one, just do a little bit of research on how you can get it up and running. It's super easy, just like when you started your own personal page. Make sure that you've got a picture of yourself in the profile area, and then you just complete the information in terms of what your business is about, how people can reach you, or anything else that's relevant in that about section. Now, what you need to do from there is to sit down and have a bit of a think about posts that you need to schedule out every single week. So the most amazing thing about your Facebook business page is that you can schedule your posts to go out on your behalf on specific days and specific times. So once you've done it once for the week or once for the month, you don't ever have to think about it again, and it will just go out at that dedicated time that you're wanting it to do. So it's super crucial that you've got content going out every single day, 5 to 7 days a week. Some of my clients like to do it Monday to Friday, others of them like to do it every single day of the week. It really depends on you and what your business is. So what type of content do these women use? Look, some of them put inspirational quotes, some of them put some information regarding what their product or their service is to really build that trust in their industry. It's entirely up to you, and I recommend checking out other pages that are very similar to yours just to help get you a grasp on what it is you're wanting to do. Now, there's really nothing wrong in terms of what you can be posting, because you can always change that as your business grows and takes different areas on. So just make sure you sit down and you go, right, this week I'm going to have these 5 posts and I'm going to schedule them, and then they're out and you don't have to think about it ever again. Now, what you don't realize just by having these simple scheduled posts is that Facebook is starting to promote your page for you, and you're starting to build online trust with anyone that comes across it and is interested in the product or the service or both in which you're offering. People will start to like your page, and therefore they're able to really start getting to know you simply by the posts in which you put on that page itself. I also recommend doing some Facebook Lives, just talking about your expertise, because again, that's going to be promoting you, it's going to be promoting your business, and it's going to be promoting what it is that you love that's going to help get you out of this corporate job that you hate by bringing you in a return on investment. Now, with your Facebook business page, it also gives you the opportunity to link up to e-commerce platforms such as something like Shopify, or link through to a calendar or a diary, an online diary, where people are able to book appointments with you without having to call or contact you via email. So both of these are absolutely amazing depending on whether you've got a product or a service. So if you've got a product in which you are selling, this is great instead of having your own website developed for you right now. So going into a product like Shopify, you're able to upload all of your products, put a brief description on there, and then people, when they come and visit your Facebook page, they're able to look through your shop and they're able to order directly online. So it's very similar to what a website would be doing for you, only it is at such a small minimal amount for the investment in which you're pouring into it. So it's absolutely amazing to be able to direct people through to that Facebook page to therefore be able to see those products that you're offering people. Now, if you've got a service-based business, let's say, you're a masseuse or you're a healer or, whatever, I guess, area it is that you're focusing your services in, you're able to connect a product or an online business, which is something like Timely, and that's going to be able to manage your calendar so that people can directly book appointments with you and then link that through to, let's say, Google if you use a Google Calendar. So again, it's super easy to be able to connect up and to be able to use, and absolutely amazing for those people that are not wanting to invest in a website straight off, because your Facebook page is ultimately going to be like your website. Just later on down the track, you'll be able to build something more fancy if you're wanting to pour some money and invest in that and get that up and running. So tip number one, in which all of my clients have had huge success in being able to utilize, is the Facebook business page. Now, first and foremost, because it's building your brand and your online presence so that people get to know you and what your why and your mission is all about. You get to utilize products or systems just like Shopify or Timely for people to be able to purchase your product or your service for you. And then down the track, you'll use that to start doing online lead advertising to a greater scale to really see those leads coming through, or viewing what it is that you've got on offer for people that you're looking to ultimately, share your products and services with. So tool number one and step number one, make sure you have a business page up and running for Facebook, because it's really crucial and it will save you a ton of money if you're not looking to invest in your website straight off from the start. So tool and step number two, the power of Facebook groups. This is another area in which I absolutely love. Now, we've got access to so many Facebook groups in terms of what our interests are, but also what it is that our product or service that we're offering. I know for myself, a couple of years ago, I was inside of so many Facebook groups that I really couldn't keep up with everything that was going on. But when I started my own business, I started to come to realization of the importance of being involved in these Facebook groups and being an active participant in these Facebook groups. Because those Facebook groups are really going to help me grow my brand, grow my presence, and help me grow my business and help more people, which is absolutely phenomenal. So step number two today, and tool number two, which I'm really wanting to encourage you to start doing, because all my clients do it and all of them have had amazing success, is to be really getting yourself inside of Facebook groups and really start communicating with the people in there. So ultimately, it's going to be up to you and what it is that you're offering today in terms of your product or service, but look at the Facebook groups that you're already a part of. Now, step number one is introducing yourself. So if you haven't already done so, then jump into those groups, either write out who you are and what you do, or if you're super confident, jump on a Facebook Live or post a video saying hello to everyone and how excited you are to be a part of this group and what your background is. People will start to comment and they'll say welcome, and from there you can start adding them as friends to your personal page so that you can really start sharing with them who you are, what beautiful big heart you have, and what you're all about. Now from there, we've introduced ourselves and we've started to make friends. It is super important that when everyone else starts commenting and putting posts in these pages and in these groups, that you start commenting and just being able to add value to the conversation or the questions, what it is that they're asking. So if you don't know how to help them, then I suggest don't jump in and just start giving them value that may not be the truth. But if someone in these groups starts posting something which is specifically targeted where your expertise is in, or you might know someone that might be able to help them, start communicating with them and start really, interacting and being able to help people inside of these groups. Because what it will do is, again, it gets people going, oh, who is that person? In my instance, who is this Louise person? And they'll come and check out my Facebook profile and they'll see I'm a business coach and they'll see what an amazing life I live and how I help lots of women start their dream businesses, and they'll start to connect with me on a more regular regular basis, and we're able to start building a relationship. And if I'm able to help them, then absolutely amazing, but they may also know someone that I can help, even if it's not directly them. In return, if they're part of a Facebook group which is targeted around my business, then they may have a product or service that might be of interest to me. You know, there's been some Facebook groups which I've had so much value out of, not only for my own business personally, but also to be able to grow my business. You know, meeting branding experts and marketing experts and dress experts. You know, there's so many different people out there, you know, offering so much amazing things to our communities, and through these online groups I've been able to connect with people that I can help but also can help me. So, you know, I guess it goes really both ways in those Facebook groups. So once we've introduced ourselves and we're starting to comment on people's posts, make sure that we're adding them to our personal page, so then that way we can continue to build that relationship with them. And then just make sure you've read the rules of the page, because often pages have got rules, and there's normally a day in which you'll be able to promote yourself and promote your business and whatever it is that you do. And because you've gone ahead and you have really focused on building relationships, when you start promoting your business and how you help people, more and more people are going to start engaging with you, and they're either going to contact you directly for some help, or they're going to be able to pass your details on, which is ultimately what we're wanting to achieve in our Facebook groups. Another really awesome thing is that when we start really connecting with people in these groups and they're friends with us on our personal pages, what's going to happen from there is that our posts that we're putting up are going to constantly be appearing in their news feed. So we're building even more social presence and even more of the trust in these people, so that they know that we are an expert to be helping them or their friends in the area in which you're an expert in. So for me, it's business coaching, and that's really a way in which I have been able to generate lots of clients, and I help my clients be able to do exactly the same, so that we're not constantly waiting for people to come to us through our online lead advertising, but also more on that relationship basis as well through online groups, and Facebook groups. So step number 2 and tool number 2 is start getting into the Facebook groups that you're already a part of and start building relationships. And then from there, start questioning what other groups you can get yourself into, and start requesting to join them, and just follow exactly the same steps, introducing yourself and building relationships, and you'll start to see a really big shift in the people coming to you for your services free of charge, without you constantly having to outlay more time and more money in online lead generation. Step number 3 and tool number 3 is the power of your network. So when I first started out in my dream business, I invested in a mentor to really help me build an online presence and teach me how to online market really quickly, so that I could get myself and my business and what I was wanting to help women do out into the masses in the online world. I wasn't a gun straight from the start, and I'm absolutely the first to admit that. So as I was waiting for my expertise to grow in the online space, I thought, how else can I be helping more people whilst I'm also wanting to reach a wider network and wider community? It was at that point in time I sat down and I looked at where I could reach people that I knew without phoning them, because I didn't have everyone's phone numbers, and I realized that a lot of them were sitting in an online platform like Facebook. So what I did is I sat down and I wrote down a whole bunch of names of women that I really thought might be able to help me, and I might be able to help them start their own dream business if that was something they were looking at doing. So the steps in which I took, and which I coach my clients, and which I 100% recommend for you to do as well, is you also sit down and go through that online medium and write out your list of amazing people that you really feel that you could help with your product or service, or might be able to refer you on to someone else that you can offer your product or service to. So I think we can all agree that everyone needs our help if that's what's right for them at that given time. So I sat down, and one day I sent out 65 messages to people in my network asking if I could help them, or if they knew of anyone that I could help. So how did I do that, and how do I recommend you do that too? So first and foremost, start the conversation with saying hello, and specifically to that person, and ask them how they are. Ask them how their day is. Ask them how the kids are if they've got kids. Find a common ground which you're able to relate with them on, just like it would be if you picked up the phone and had a conversation, and start building a relationship with them first and foremost, because they are your friends or your acquaintances, and that's firstly what you're wanting to do. Now, automatically it will come up in the conversation, how's business going, or what are you up to now? And that's your time to shine and start sharing with them what it is that you've just started in your online business, or what it is that you're looking to start. Or even in your bricks and mortar business. So you're then able to get excited and you're able to share your passion for what it is that you've just started to do. And you're able to say to them, if it comes up, look, is this something that I would be able to help you do as well? Or, I would love for you to be able to help me, and keep this in mind if you're talking to any of your friends or family or wider community that I might be able to help in this space. So I personally did this. As I mentioned, I sat down and I had 65 people in which I reached out to, I built a relationship with, and when it came up, I shared with them that I'd started my own business coaching to help women start their own dream businesses, to leave the corporate jobs they hated. And I said to them, is this something that you're looking at doing? Or do you know anyone else that I might be able to offer a free coaching call, because it's normally $300, but I'd love to be able to offer them a free coaching call because you're my friend, and help them start moving forward and starting that dream business too. And the response that I had once I'd finally got over how terrifying it was for me to ask people in my network for help was absolutely phenomenal. And it's that same excitement that I see in my clients every day that do exactly the same thing. They get really pumped up, not only because they're able to share what it is that they're doing, but because of all the help that their friends and family and their immediate network are wanting to give them in order for their business to be successful. So what I encourage you to do is exactly the same. Sit down, go through your online media or go through your phone and write a list of the people that you feel would be able to benefit off your product or your service, or who may be able to help you, get your message out there a lot quicker and start adding some value and lots of love into their world. Now, once you've written that list, make contact with them, build a relationship, and then ask them if this would be something that they would be able to utilize, or if they know anyone on your behalf that might be able to put you in touch with, so that you two would be able to offer them whatever it is that you've got available at that point in time. And I can't stress how much success I had in my business and my clients have in theirs, simply by utilizing their immediate network, which is free, guys, like absolutely amazing. So whilst you're focusing on building, other forms of lead generation, really drum in on that personal network and the amazing relationships that you've already built, because you will find that if that person is not in need of your service or product right there and then, they almost always will come across someone that is, and they will refer you to them, and that relationship will build a lot quicker because you're a mutual friend and we trust our mutual friends. So step number 3, make sure we're utilizing and acknowledging the power of our internal network whilst we wait for our mission and our vision and our business to spread into the larger network via our online advertising. I trust that you've gained so much value from this information, and that you're able to walk away and start implementing these tools straight away, so that you too can have massive success, so that you can leave the corporate job that you hate and continue to focus and build the business of your dreams and the business that you love.